XRP Future Millionaire, as our Adam and Eve bearish pattern plays out as predicted perfectly yesterday. XRP's hanging on 31 cents. Bitcoin's just about 19K. It actually came down to 18,910. XRP came all the way down to 30601. I would imagine today we're going to have some kind of retest up. This was a sloppy breakdown. I showed you yesterday on the Adam and Eve bearish reversal that when we broke 32.3, it was going to be a landslide, and I have a predicted target eventually to come down to 29.8. It's almost gotten there. And Bitcoin, we talked about when 19,763 gave away, and there was no proper retest. Once it busted this, it was over. Too bad I was sleeping. It happened about 2:54 a.m. unfortunately, and I really wanted to be in this, but I had to go to sleep and get some rest. And right after I fell asleep, I went to bed about 1 o'clock. This ended up finally breaking down, and I tried to stay up long enough to see this uptrending support break, but I could not. But anybody who was paying attention to that, it was a spectacular call yesterday, and the Adam and Eve bearish reversal, we were calling it, and it absolutely played out. The technical target is not over yet for XRP or Bitcoin. My technical target was coming down to 29.8 for XRP, and Bitcoin, the technical target, I mean, this is eventually, guys. This isn't just going to happen in one day. But that was way over there. And the reason why it swayed like that is because it was going to take time to get down there. But this was the overall target on this breakdown that we were looking for from yesterday. The moment we broke this, we're looking for a breakdown to 17,639 and or 17,045. So we're still looking at a 2,000 plus point drop here. But first, we've got to talk about the Bitcoin ETF. Grayscale sues SEC over Bitcoin ETF application rejection. So the Bitcoin ETF got rejected. It got shot down again, which it should have never. It shouldn't be put on. There's no interest here. The SEC rejected Grayscale's application to convert its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust to an exchange traded fund earlier Wednesday, which anybody could see this coming. Grayscale Investments has sued the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, barely an hour after the regulatory agency rejected its application to convert its flagship Grayscale Bitcoin Trust product to an exchange-traded fund ETF. The SEC rejected Grayscale's application earlier Wednesday, citing concerns about market manipulation, the role of Tether in the broader Bitcoin ecosystem, and the lack of a surveillance sharing agreement between a regulated market of significant size and a regulated exchange, echoing concerns the regulator has expressed for years and rejecting other spot Bitcoin ETF applications. Grayscale is a subsidiary of CoinDesk parent company Digital Current Group. In the filing, Grayscale simply asked the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit to review the SEC's order. The investment firm announced it was prepared to sue the SEC in the event of rejection earlier in 2022, saying it would file a proceeding tied to the Administrative Procedure Act. To the end, Grayscale tapped former Solicitor General Don Verrilli, who has experience in APA proceedings. Grayscale supports and believes in the SEC's mandate to protect investors, maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and facilitate capital formation, and we are deeply disappointed by and vehemently disagree with the SEC's decision to continue to deny spot Bitcoin ETFs from coming to the U.S. markets, Grayscale CEO Michael Samenstein said in statement Wednesday. So this is the last thing I wanted to read. This is a place where common sense has a really important role to play. You've got a situation now in which you have certain kinds of exchange-traded funds, one that is focused on Bitcoin futures, and the SEC has approved that. The SEC has given it the seal of approval, he said. In order to do so, it had to make a determination that giving this approval was consistent with the securities law, and in particular that there wasn't a sufficient underlying risk of fraud. To date, only a handful of Bitcoin futures ETFs have been approved to trade. Spot Bitcoin ETFs trade based on the price of Bitcoin itself, while futures-based ETFs trade based on the price of CME's Bitcoin's future product, which is in turn tied to an index. Bitcoin ETF proponents argue that the futures markets are still based on the underlying spot Bitcoin price, while the SEC notes that the CME's future market is regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, a fellow federal agency. Welcome back. XRP Future Millionaire. It's 8:06 a.m. Hopefully that helped you understand what was going on. Grayscale ETF got denied by the SEC yesterday, which who couldn't have seen that coming. Grayscale is going to sue the SEC, so we'll see what happens. As you can see, we absolutely imploded. Absolutely imploded. It was 100% on the money called. Like I said, I wish I wouldn't have fell asleep, but I have 3 kids and I had to go to sleep. So if this literally all broke right after I fell asleep. I fell asleep about 1:30, and XRP finally had its big cream of the crop push at 320, and by 240, actually it was about 245, it finally pulled through here, and there was nothing. We had one pull down, and then we pulled up here to prove rejection, and right there would have been the candle I would have bought, but of course I was sleeping. And then we got to see a quick rundown. London was not playing around last night. So XRP's targeted move from here is we still got a little bit more of a drop here. What I would be anticipating here is a retest of about right here to see what we're going to do today. If nothing happens in these next couple candles, it's just going to roll over right down to 29.8. It's a very difficult spot to try to go short here just because it's already broke down so much. For everybody who was afraid that XRP and Bitcoin had bottomed out, I told you don't worry about that nonsense because that's a bull trap. That's all we were in. And then I showed you yesterday every reason why we were in an Adam and Eve bearish reversal. And it played out. So, I mean, we're looking at technical targets here for Bitcoin. I have the longer target out there. But now with this little bearish continuation that is forming right in front of our very eyes, let's just say it got to the 20-day. This would pull us down here to 18,276, but if we just break down from here with no continuation up, we're coming down under 18K today. If this breaks down today and we don't have any continuation back to the upside to retest, we're coming down under 18K today. It's that simple. If XRP has no testicular fortitude to push back up and retest the 20-day at least, so if XRP tests the 20-day, we're coming right down to my ascending triangle bottom. Symmetrical triangle, it's slightly ascending, but 29,791. And if we have no testicular fortitude out of this area, we could break down all the way to 29.11. I'm not forecasting that. I'm forecasting a little bit of a push up because a lot of times you get these retests, and then I think it's going to come down to the bottom of the formation. We've been very transparent about this. The only reason why I'm not sure if it's going to go up there is because if it were to break down here, it would come down to the bottom formation. But I still think we're going to retest probably the 20-day. It's not guaranteed, but it's only a push up to 315 approximately. So pay attention to what I'm saying. XRP Future Millionaire. I'll be back shortly.